जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्रजकाचार्य स्तोत्र श्री श्रीमद अवै चरणारविंद His Divine Grace Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की समवेत गौर भक्तवृंद की जय जय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaivam Narottamam Devi Madhurim Vyasam Tatur Mudiraye Nasyaprayestu avadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistuke Nimsyanubhavamaklam Sutisaramekam Adhyatmadekam Atitir Satam Tamandam Samsarina Karunaya Purana Guyam Tam Vyasa Sunamupayami Guru Maninam. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, the creation of fourth order, chapter 24, chanting the song sung by Lord Shiva, text number 76. Ya imam shraddhaya yukto madgitam bhagavat stavam adiyano duraradhyam harim aradhayat yasau. Ya imam shraddhaya yukto madgitam bhagavat stavam adiyano duraradhyam harimaradhayat yasau. Ya imam shraddhaya yukto madgitam bhagavat stavam adiyano duraradhyam harim aradhayat yasau.
Ya imam shraddhaya yukto
Ya imam shraddhaya yukto
madgitam bhagavat stavam
madgitam bhagavat stavam
adiyano duraradhyam
adiyano duraradhyam
harim aradhayat yaso.
harim aradhayat yasau.
Ya imam shraddhaya yukto
Ya imam shraddhaya yukto
madgitam bhagavat stavam
madgitam bhagavat stavam adiyano duraradhyam harim aradhayat yasau.
Ya imam shraddhaya yukto
Ya imam shraddhaya yukto
madgitam bhagavat stavam
madgitam bhagavat stavam
adiyano duraradhyam
Adiyano duraradhyam
harim aradhayat yasau.
harim aradhayat yaso.
Ya anyone imam this shraddhaya with great faith yuktaha devoutly attached madgitam
Madgitam,
the song composed by me or sung by me
the song composed by me or sung by me.
bhagavat stavam
Bhagavat stavam,
a prayer offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead
a prayer offered to the Supreme Personality of God.
adhyanaha
Adiyana,
by regular study
by regular study.
duraradhyam
Duraradhyam,
very difficult to worship
very difficult to worship.
harim
Harim,
the Supreme Personality of Godhead
the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
aradhayati
Aradhayati,
he can however worship him
he can however worship him.
asau
So,
such a person.
such a person.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Although rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and worshipping Him are very difficult, if one vibrates or simply reads this stotra prayer composed and sung by me, he will very easily be able to invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Please repeat. Although rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead
Although rendering devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead
and worshipping Him are very difficult,
and worshiping Him are very difficult,
if one vibrates or simply reads this stotra
if one vibrates or simply reads the stotra
composed and sung by me,
composed and sung by me,
he will very easily be able to invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
he will very easily be able to invoke the mercy of the Supreme Personality of God.
Purport. It is especially significant that Lord Shiva is a pure devotee of Lord Vasudeva. Vaisnavanam yatha sambho. Almost amongst all Vaisnavas, Lord Shiva is the topmost. Consequently, Lord Shiva has a sampradaya, a Vaisnava disciplic succession called the Rudra Sampradaya. At the present moment, those who belong to the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya of Vaisnavas come from Rudra. Lord Shiva, to become a devotee of Lord Krishna, Vasudeva is very, very difficult. The word especially used in this connection is Duraradhyam. The worship of the demigods is not very difficult, but becoming a devotee of Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, is not so easy. However, if one adheres to the principles and follows in the footsteps of the higher authorities as advised by Lord Shiva, one can easily become a devotee of Lord Vasudeva. This is also confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj. Devotional service cannot be practiced by a mental speculator. Devotional service is a special attainment which can be acquired only by a person who has surrendered unto a pure devotee. As confirmed by Prahlad Maharaj, Mahi Yasam Pada Rajo Abhisekam Nishkinchananam na Prinita Yavat. Unless one accepts the dust of the lotus feet of a pure devotee who is free from all material contamination, one cannot enter into the devotional service of the Lord. This was taken from Bhagavatam 7.5.32. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Mano Vistam Stapita Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayandadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaisnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadotam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpati Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastuti Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhan Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Pri Vanchakalpataro Vikshakripa Sindho Vya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaisnavebhyo Namo Namaha Kam Karoti Vachalam Pangolam Gayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bandi Sri Gurun Dinatarinam Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamini Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesya Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Good morning and Hare Krishna everyone. I thank you for your precious, valuable presence in this assembly. In our regular hearing from Srimad Bhagavatam, before I start, I would like to beg apology from dear devotee, Lalita Priya, for not being able to come this morning for Saligram Siva because of my so many material conditionings situations. But I truly feel sorry for that.
I just got to have more association.
I will properly communicate in future.
I did hear you, I just wanted to.
But it was Krishna's plan that made me not come and do it from you. That was his desire. Thank you so much. Lord Shiva, very unique personality we have already discussed many times. A lot of people, so many followers of Lord Shiva all over the world. More than Krishna's follower, if we count the head on this planet, many people follow Lord Shiva as Supreme Lord. And we have a Shiva Purana that explains the glories and pastimes of Lord Shiva. But when Lord Shiva speaks with Mother Parvati in Padma Purana, Parvati questions him that, Lord, you explain yourself as Supreme Personality of Godhead in Shiva Purana, you are presented like that, but here you are explaining about the glories of Vishnu, Lord Krishna, and he is your worshipable master, Lord. So why did you explain that way in Shiva Purana? And Lord Shiva says, sometimes I tell lie to confuse people. What can be done in the Lord? So, he's an authority, he's a very great personality of God. He's a Vaishnavas, the crown jewel of all the Vaishnavas, Vaishnavana Vithasamo. Among all the Vaishnavas, the best Vaishnava is Lord Shiva because of his quality, compassion quality. How he exhibited that quality, Lord Shiva accepted to drink all the poisons that was coming out from the churning of the ocean. Very devastating situation. All the living beings were going to die because of that poison, but Lord Vishnu suggested demigods, go to Lord Shiva. He will definitely help you out in this situation. And Lord Shiva drank all this poison just because it was the instruction of Lord Vishnu, and he was very, very kind to all the living beings. And anyone worship Lord Shiva, ultimately he is inspired to come to Vasudeva from within. Lord Shiva guide that jiva unto the Lord Vasudeva, to Krishna, to come ultimately. That is the benefit. And here he is talking about worshipping Lord Vasudeva is not very easy task. Worshipping demigods is not easy, but not as difficult as worshipping Lord Vasudeva. Many people come to demigods worshipping, asking or putting some demand that, my dear Lord, I need to achieve this thing in my life. I would definitely offer some laddus to you if you kindly fulfill my wish. Or I will sacrifice an animal before you if you give me this desire. These all are just because of the this desire, just material desires. So if anyone has that same desire to come to Krishna and worship that way, then Krishna will not give any importance to such appeal, such prayers, such worship. One has to be completely nirmat saranam satam, completely free from all kind of enviousness or any kind of desires from your heart. There's a great personality who is writing a beautiful prayer. He says that I serve my body, I serve my desires, I serve my family, I serve my nation, I serve my relatives so much. Kamadhinam katida, like I did so much for satisfying the senses, but they never get satisfied from me. I was never able to satisfy them. They never said, we are all done now. Okay, good, thank you. No, never, ever. That's why I surrender unto the lotus feet of you, Mukunda. So Karmakanda people, they simply enjoy reciting slokas, performing so many ritualistic activities, and they do not care about the heart, the central point, the goal of the whole process of worshipping. They simply remain happy performing pious activities, and they think that that is all they need to do. They do not appreciate somebody chanting the holy name of the Lord. They think that they are just useless people. They don't have any job to do. So they sing and dance in the street. They have nothing to do. They do not study Vedas. They do not perform any rituals. They do not do nothing. They do not, they have so many accusations from these people. But in Vishnu, in Padma Purana, again it says that those Brahmanas, Karmakandi Brahmanas, do, even though they perform everything very Vedic way, but they do not carry the essence of those worships. They do not understand the meaning of pleasing the Supreme Lord. They do not believe in establishing a personal relationship which is very sweet and reciprocal. They just ignore that part. But the purpose of all the Vedas, the purpose of all the Vedantas, all the knowledge is to understand Vasudeva Sarvam Iti. The all and all of all this world is Lord Sri Krishna. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very sweet in devotional service that we can experience direct bliss, direct connection from the Supreme Lord by our daily devotional activities. Any activities that we engage in, we perform, that gives us some insight, some glance, some glimpse of that supreme rasa, the devotional rasa, that motivates us every day in our devotional life, that gives us. And hearing such a great Vaishnavas also strengthen our faith. If Lord Shiva is speaking, why should I have any doubt in my mind? If great personalities, Prahlad Maharaj is speaking that devotional service to the Lord is the ultimate goal of life, why should I have any doubt? If great Vaishnava Acharyas has compiled great commentaries on all these great books and stressing the importance of devotional service, they have studied so long and they have received this knowledge through the right channel, and they are gone through austere life in order to achieve this nectar. Why do I have doubt in my mind and I do not follow? Very few people, rarely, very few people understand this fact and they accept devotional service. Otherwise, we will remain full of kamas, in desires in our heart, and always try to fulfill that one after another in this material world, and we simply live a life on pious life. I am always being pious. I am good. I have never done anything bad to any people. I am doing my dharma. I am doing my right tracks. Why do I need to follow this devotional service? They simply are satisfied because of the greatest desire to enjoy this material world. But the pious life, living a pious life without harming anybody else, without doing anything else, just following your own daily life, will not please Krishna. In order to please Krishna, you need to understand that, my dear Lord, I am fallen into this material world. Kindly rescue me. Please help me to come up from this situation. When devotee realizes that fact, devotees become very humble. That is why we bow down before the deities, that we are ashamed of ourselves, that I spent many lifetimes without understanding you. I have gone through Abrahma, Bhuvana, Loka. I have changed my bodies from topmost heavenly planet unto the lowest planetary systems, changed so many bodies, enjoyed so many sense enjoyment, and done so much. But finally, I realized that I am such a fallen soul. How can I even look at you directly to your face? That's why we bow down. Humility comes by that understanding in the devotee's life. We are not trying to humble artificially. That is devotee. For example, I was not coming this morning for Silas, and then Lalita Mataji brought me water here. in return, I threw her with the pebbles, and she threw me with flour. This is devotee's behavior. So here he says that anyone who sings and hear this song stavas that I am praying from this Bhagavatam, this section, will invoke the mercy of Supreme Lord. He is not saying, if you hear my prayers, then you become first class devotee. He says, one can invoke the mercy of the Supreme Lord. It should always be done through pleasing a devotee. If we displease devotees in spiritual life, or ignore devotees, and try to establish our direct and personal relationship with Krishna, even though we do have our personal direct relationship with Krishna, Krishna will always enjoy that rasas through some channel. That is why we have devotional, we have disciplic succession. We receive it through the disciplic succession, and we go that way. We follow the footstep of a devotee. In that sense, we all are guru for somebody else. If someone is practicing Krishna consciousness for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 100 years, he can be a guru for someone who's coming 30 years. If someone is practicing 30 years and somebody is just coming in 29, he will be a guru. Like if somebody just joined today, and he can be a guru for somebody who comes tomorrow, to guide into the path. So in devotional service, we do not have option to go so many demigods. Many people, material people, they always have a lot of demigods worships. Just like we had an election, we are voting for the president. People were voting, okay, either this or that. But in devotional service, we have to devote. We don't have option. Krishna is the only one person to vote. Voting, devote, like coding and decoding, right? We need to devote. We need to stop going to all other demigods and dedicate wholeheartedly to Krishna. He's our permanent president, leader, well-wishers, friend, masters. And if you discover your internal relationship with Krishna at some point, after purifying enough, then you know who you are with Krishna. So this process of chanting Hare Krishna is come along with service. It cannot be separated from service. Like information, one can achieve so many information studying scriptures. One can become a great Pandit by knowing all the 18,000 verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, not only that, from so many other literatures. But if that is devoid of practical service, practical performing sadhana, then our knowledge cannot be a practical knowledge, realized knowledge that cannot give us a real understanding, realization from Krishna, about Krishna. So we do study, we do get knowledge, but then we perform service. This studying and service goes side by side and takes great cleansing process inside our heart. I see that Prabhu devotee, he comes early morning and help in the kitchen, cooking, or whatever comes. All our devotees, they always remain busy doing something. That is why in no time they become a great scholar and they speak from Vyasasana. This is the result of devotional service. At the same time, studying the scriptures among the association of the devotees. Great. Priority is always Krishna. Everything else we prioritize, but we keep Krishna in our heart. So all this Mayavadis, they do not believe in this kind of activities. That is why they always become very niras. It's like not so happy, tasteless, rasaless, and preaching completely bogus philosophy that everything is same, everything is same. You merge, you finish, you're all done. That is Maya, that is why it's called Mayavada. So I heard yesterday that some devotee was saying that these material things that are okay, they are not bad. We do have a material life, we have this material body, we have material senses, so we need material things, but materialism is bad. So in the name of utilizing these material things, if we forget Krishna and then completely make a bogus philosophy about the materialism and this is all and all and we should enjoy it, this is bad. So Prabhupada used everything in the service of Krishna, all the material things. Once when he was asked, why devotee like you are enjoying the motor cars, all kind of things. And Prabhupada says, we are the only one to use these things for the service of the Lord. But you all are misusing it. We are the devotee who should use all these things. These are meant for the devotees who are spreading the glories of Krishna consciousness all over the world. And some reporter lady was asking Prabhupada, why don't you work and just do this Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna? And Prabhupada says, I am working more than you. I'm traveling all over the world, teaching people, spreading this message. Never rest. You are not working as I am. So the real work is for working for Krishna. That is real work. So it says that if one is working for Krishna, then even though we have little less time, the time expand in devotional service. Time is controlled by Krishna. Krishna said, I am time. For those who are lusty, engaged in material world, doing all kind of nasty things, for them time is, they say, no time, no time, no time, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. For devotees who utilize his time and engage that time in the service of the Lord, time expand for them. That is the result that Prabhupada could travel the whole world for 11 times within short time. If he says, oh, I don't have time, I am so sick, I'm very old, I need to take rest, I need to do my bhajan, my sadhana, my chanting, let me go to Vrindavan and meditate. Prabhupada could say that, but he utilized that time, even in that adverse age, and he was able to spread this whole movement like a forest fire. So the final goal is, how can we meditate more and more on the holy name, chanting holy name, Hare Krishna? Well, how can we feel the presence of Krishna in that name? That comes when we sincerely practice along with the service. So service should not be ignored. It should be performed joyfully. That is the goal. Service that we get or we are given should be performed joyfully. And Lord Shiva also has authorized Vaishnava Sampradaya, which is called Rudra Sampradaya, founded by Vishnu Swami. So all these Vaishnavas, great acharyas, their ultimate goal is to establish this principle of Bhakti Yoga and to establish that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna alone is the only person to give one liberation, a freedom from these conditioning stages of life. And he can also make one a greatest pure devotee who can devote wholeheartedly in the service of Krishna, and he spreads this message all over the world. It is not very easy, but by the mercy of our previous acharyas, this process has made even easier for us, because we are living in a Kali Yuga. We are living in a very difficult time. Everything we do is completely opposite of what all the other people do. Every concept that we have is completely opposite of all the other people have. Every system that we follow is completely opposite. We can be easily carried away by that materialistic way of life at any time. But despite of that situation, our devotees are still maintaining this practice. This is because we are backed up by our Guru Parampara, our Acharyas, our Krishna himself. The inspiration that we are getting is not our personal individual inspiration. We are inspired by the whole disciplic succession to remain Krishna conscious at all time, in all adverse situations. This is Kartik month. Have you noticed in Jagannath Ratha Yatra that somebody were holding the placard with Jesus is still alive? That is very true. That is what it is spoken in Bhagavad Gita. Na tvevaham jatu nasam, na tvam neme janadhipa, na chaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vaya mataha param. Neither was there a time where you and me were not there, nor the great kings were not, nor will be there in the future that we will cease to be. We will remain always. These slokas from Srimad Bhagavatam will cut the idea of Mayavada. That Mayavada is everything same. After you finish this, you'll merge into the Brahma Jyoti. And this is, Krishna is completely rejecting that philosophy of oneness. Our desire is different, our nature is different, our body is different, our situation is different, everything is different. And how can we be like one with everything? So this idea is cut straight, destroyed by Sri Krishna himself in Bhagavad Gita. And it says, we all are eternal beings. We were yesterday, we are now, we would be in future. So in that sense, those Christians were right, that they say Jesus is still alive. He is. Every living being is still alive. Anyone who passed, who died, who gave up their bodies are still alive in some places. So these all knowledge are coming from devotional service. People do not easily attain this kind of understanding. It's very rare and highest understanding. Even though you are engaged in a pious, ritualistic life, regular life, nice life, ideal life, then this surrendering, this loving propensity to Krishna will not come that easily until one is blessed by devotees. It's very hard, very rare. People follow Krishna, people like Krishna, but to have love for Krishna is really rare. That's what Lord Shivaji is saying, that worshipping Krishna is not so easy job. Demigod worship is easy job. It's a business deal. I do this, I give me this. It's easy. You get it or not, that's different part. But Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. May Lord Damodar will manifest in the heart, in the core chamber of your heart, and lighten the light of knowledge at all time. Jnana Deepa, Jnana Deepena Bhaswata. That's what Krishna promised, that how can I keep my devotees' ignorance? It will be my defame if my devotees become ignorant. So I wish all of you become always special and great. Hare Krishna. Any question or any comment, any discussion? Yes.
So I always wondered,
how is it that like Mayavadi groups, they can read those lines in the Gita? Like what do they just think like, oh, that line doesn't count?
They have a whole argument. They think that Krishna is also will merge to that Supreme, but being so kind and merciful to all this living being, he come and speak Gita, but he also merges inside into that Brahman. This is that is how they conclude and they explain to people. And Shankaracharya, his guru, after he passed away, he came to his dream and said to him that you write commentary on Vedanta Sutra. So there was a big discussion among the Mayavadis and Vaishnavas about these things. It's going on even now. It's going on forever. And Vaishnava argue that if your guru come back and instruct you to write a commentary, so how come he merged into that Brahma Jyoti? It's a fake. Your philosophy is gone. It's not. It's a bogus. They directly Vaishnavas are always winning in the argument. There is never a time that Mayavadas defeated Vaishnavas. Never ever. Even though they are very powerful, very great, learned scholars, but they are always defeated by Vaishnava's argument. And they argue that he comes because he was about to merge, but out of compassion, he come down to preach. So this is ongoing thing. They always speculate and make the meaning for just to support their ideas. But that is completely destroyed, and then our Vaishnava Acharyas has established. That's what Prabhupada wrote, right? After Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur came to his life, he preached to him, and this Mayavadas is destroyed. He wrote a poem.
Mm-hmm.
There was a poem. What is the poem?
Absolute ascension.
Yeah, that is the thing.
Thou hast proved impersonal calamity.
Yes, that is what it is. It is long debate going on, even today. They will never agree with us, and we will never agree to them. But finally they defeat, but they will never accept defeat. Keep going. In both aspects of Dvaita and Advaita are mentioned in the Vedas. Again, they both are there. But that's why we need acharyas, teachers.
It just makes me think that instead of that verse saying, never was there a time that I did not exist, nor you, maybe they are interpreting it as only sometimes was there a time that I did not exist.
Yes.
Anyway.
Thank you. Anything else? Thank you, Chaitanya Lila, for coming this morning. Hare Krishna. We bless you. I'll go. Yes, Prabhu.
What does Mayavadi mean?
Back to basics.
Mayavada. Bad is a philosophy. Bad is a concept of something like so many socialism, all kind of ism, these things, these systems, understanding. And Maya is a illusion, something which is not. So the idea is that you will, after you give up this body, you will merge with the Supreme. Which is not, you will not merge, but you will be with the Supreme. So the concept of merging into the Supreme Brahman is an illusion for Vaishnavas in real philosophy. So to accept that idea and live a life in that direction is called Mayavad. So
that's not what they call themselves.
No, they do.
You call themselves.
They mean something else, Maya.
yeah.
I've heard that, or read that, and I may be confused, but please elucidate if you can, that in the Kaustubha gem, after the end of annihilation, all the souls that haven't been saved and gone home to Krishna, they go in and take shelter in the Kaustubha gem while everything else is destroyed. And then during the next creation, they're able to come out again and go through more cycling. Did I understand that correctly? And B, is that sort of like what they're thinking? It's not actually, because like Krishna gives us what we desire, right? So like even them at the very end, they almost do have a merging of some sort. Like
Yeah, that is that after the complete annihilation of this cosmic manifestation, those living beings who are still struggling in this material world, they are merged into that gigantic body of Mahavishnu, and they remain there inert for a while until another creation begins. I don't think they consider that as merged.
It's just like going to sleep.
Yeah, that's asleep. But when the creation comes, they are still conditioning, they have still desires, and they are given an appropriate body to purify, to enjoy. But Mayavada is, they think that once your ignorance, your illusion is uncovered, then you become that Supreme. That is what Mayavada is.
That's too bad.
You become that same Supreme. There is no difference between you and the Supreme Brahman once your illusion is cleared. Our concept is once our illusion is cleared, we become even more and more serving to Krishna. We become more and more intimate to the Krishna and serve him with everything. Now, because of that illusion that we are thinking this body, we are going away from Krishna, not serving him. So this is the difference between Vaishnavas and Mayavadis, Sankarists.
When we challenge them with, so ignorance, illusion is greater than God?
Yes.
They have no answer.
Right, no answer.
That's a very simple challenge.
Yeah, whenever Vaishnavas put argument to them, their mouth shuts. But they will not. Many Mayavadis were turned into Vaishnavas in Prayagraj when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was preaching. All these great Prakasananda Saraswati, great scholars, all became Vaishnavas. That was power of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
He did not talk big philosophy to them. He did not, they said, you are mere young sannyasi, come and study Vedanta from us. Hear from us. I would really love to hear from you, but you are explaining in such a way that you make it very hard to understand for me. But the purpose of Vedanta is very simple and easy, but you making like touching us like this. Guru Maria, my Guru told me I'm a very fool, great fool and rascal. I have no right to study Vedantas. What can be done? So I'm chanting Hare Krishna. That was Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's answers. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We have to have feeling. We have to have feeling for Krishna, feeling, not just externally, feeling. Bhav, sarve, mad bhavam. Yeah. Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah, I just